Easy to spot external success, but sometimes the accomplishments that really matter get overlooked. All this month on Studio 5, we're celebrating the success of others, looking for everyday opportunities to give a shout out to friends and to neighbors. Therapist Julie Hanks is here to help us look beyond the obvious and praise what matters most. So when we first launched this theme, you've been such a champion and cheerleader of the concept of celebrating others, but you kind of brought to our attention there's an opportunity here to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, when I saw you launch this new theme, I loved it, and I thought, wow, everybody's focusing on the external, a new business or an award or children's successes. And I think the most important things that we do aren't necessarily what we do, it's who we are and those internal qualities and maybe those small little things that add up over time.
So by applauding maybe what's easy to see on the surface, what do we miss?
Well, I think we perpetuate a focus on the external and we miss those character traits, those small little things. And you know, there's such a focus on external in our society in general, especially with women, that I think it helps everybody if we can focus or balance that out a little bit more, focusing on internal qualities and little things.
And don't you find those compliments, that type of praise, when you're focusing on the things that really matter, it means the most? You know, I think you and I, our jobs as we're sitting here now, kind of promote this easy to compliment what they're seeing, what they're hearing. But I find the compliments that, you know, reward or validate my inner characteristics really mean the most to me.
Right, right. You know, it's interesting, focusing on effort is really important. And there's some interesting research about, with children, that it's more important to focus on the child's effort than their personal qualities. And that kind of goes against what we think, right? So saying you're so smart, you're so pretty, oh, you're such a good athlete, isn't as helpful as saying you worked really hard, you played hard, you studied hard for that test. So noticing effort actually, the research is showing, builds a child's self-esteem, and I think we're all a bunch of big babies, so I think it applies to us, right? We all want to be noticed, and I think if somebody says, wow, great job, I know you've worked really hard for this opportunity, that means more to me than, oh, I saw, you know, you're on Studio 5 now, or do you know what I mean?
So even if you're praising something worthwhile, the words that you're using and the way that you're communicating that compliment really does matter.
The effort, because effort is the one thing that we can always control. You can't control the outcome. You can't control your appearance all the time. We're all going to age. We're all going to,
right. You suggest also praising for things that we can't see, kind of the less obvious, the intangibles, if you will.
Right. Praising the intangibles. And it's a lot harder. It takes a little bit more focus. Like when I notice, oh, cool necklace. You're like, you have a cool necklace.
It's the first thing I said when you sat down. I love your necklace.
It's easy, and that's why we do it. But the intangibles are so important. There's a friend in my neighborhood, Andrea, who I love how her mind works. She will make comments that really expand my mind. And it takes a little bit more work to notice that and to know how to articulate it. I have another friend, Marianne, who is always joyful, not in a fake, like I'm fine, but like she just exudes joy. And so I'm always like, oh, I just love being around you because it just spills out. And so those kind of character or internal qualities are intangible, but think about how powerful that is for somebody to say, I thank you for being so joyful. I love being in your presence.
But because we don't hear that as often as we hear, Julie, I love your necklace, is there an awkwardness that might come with it? You know, if you were to plop down here and I was to say, Julie, I really love, you know, your sparkle or your kindness or your service, does that feel a little out of place in daily conversation?
It might, but part of complimenting and praising others is taking a risk and being authentic and kind of putting yourself out there. And so there's always that chance that you'll be rejected. But most often people just are really touched, I've found. And I put myself out there. Like, I just got to tell you this. And
it's appreciated. And you just took it from flattery to they're genuinely touched. They're not just flattered, they're touched.
Well, and a core human need, Brooke, is we all want to be seen. We all want to be validated, and not just seen externally, but we want our hearts and our minds to be seen by someone else and valued. And so when we praise the intangibles, that's we're saying, I see you and I value you.
You also are encouraging us, as part of this campaign, Celebrate Others, to praise the small stuff. And I love this concept because I think in our society today, we have to amount to something huge in order to get recognized or to be seen.
Yeah, and that was one of my, on the Instagram challenge, it's like, okay, you know, focusing on, oh, this new award, or, and it's like, you know, the little things are what make up most of what all of us do, right? So saying, oh, you know, you handled a grocery store tantrum really gracefully. That matters, right? And so all of these little moments of serving other people and of developing your talents and just these, like, I love that smile you just gave me, or you know, there's a sparkle in your eye, those little things. And Mother Teresa gave a great quote. She's like, we can do no great things, only small things with great love. And so focusing on the small things. And I want to challenge the viewers to, on the Instagram challenge, to celebrate the small little things. It doesn't have to be some big achievement.
And it's a great challenge because anyone would say, yes, I do believe the small things matter, but it's taking that extra step to celebrate them and make them a big deal, because they are.
It's harder to see, but it's so much more valuable when you can praise those intangibles, the small things, and the effort.
It's a great layer to this discussion, this month-long discussion. Julie, thank you so much. And viewers can find more advice from you on your website, yes?
WasatchFamilyTherapy.com.
Okay, Julie, thank you.
Brooke.
Continue to post those Instagram pictures under the hashtag #CelebrateOthers. We're loving them, and we'll be right back with more.